Dead of the Night, the first chapter in the Chaos storyline set in Alistair Rhode's mansion in 1912. Unable to attend his own party, Alice's gala is hijacked by a cultist group named the Order. Unfortunately for his guests, Godfrey, Alistair's secretly cultist butler, unleashes the power of the sentinel artifact, hoisting our characters into a trial against the undead. Here we are inside of Dead of the Night. Honestly, I know this map received a lot of flack upon its release because, you know, marketing being absolute shite. Or, well, it wasn't even shite, there was no marketing, let's just be real there. But I did really like this map, I really enjoyed it. The only thing with the Black Ops 4 maps is that everything was really overcomplicated, and the only map I really understood was Der Eisendrache, how to get the lightning bow, and Origins. That's probably it. So I really struggled to get Pack-a-Punch on this map. I know the tuning forks are pretty simple, but it was hard, okay? Don't judge me. I did use a shopping free here because I don't know, it's broken. It took me 60 seconds to open the whole map when it usually would take me 10-15 minutes. In doing so, I was able to fill all the crystals, build the shield, collect all the silver pieces for the silver bullets, the charcoal, and the vampire poop, which I will admit took me a long time. I don't know why, but I could not find it. It was blending into the ground, I swear to you. So I had to bring out the big guns. Yes, thank you, Mr. Rufflewaffles. Your no-nonsense guides are a godsend to us mere mortals. Anyways, I melted the silver and put silver bullets on my Mog, and then I began doing the tuning fork quests for Pack-a-Punch. Every time I get the noose in the crystal, I am just grateful, because the amount of times I've got lost in this mansion looking for a bloody painting, I don't even want to talk about it, it brings me pain. Next was the perk tuning fork, which I vividly remember doing for the very first time, freaking out and dying to the vampires. What an experience that was. Which is moments like that that make me realize how amazing this map really is, because where else are you going to have that experience in the zombies game mode? It may have been a complete flop in some people's eyes, but Black Ops 4 was honestly great. The map detail was insane. It's so sad that the gameplay really did let it down. Ah, Jason Blundell. What a guy. I set the time and opened the forest, which I remember doing for the first time also, and come on, werewolves. They really did want to give you the full-on Twilight experience here in this map, and the whole game in general, and the Chaos story. I mean, the Titanic, Gladiators, Delphi, they really were trying to spice things up a bit. Anyways, moving on to the wonder weapon, which is the Alice's Folly, or Chaos Theory Annihilator, whatever you want to call it. This wonder weapon is honestly one of the main redeeming qualities about this map. It is amazing, and I've only ever gotten it from the box, so using the symbols is a first time for me. And obviously making the Chaos Theory from shooting the werewolf earlier with silver bullets. Like most, I actually enjoyed the specialist weapons on release, mainly because I was terrible at video games. Now I do understand where everyone's coming from, and you do just spawn in with your best weapon, it's too easy. But at the same time, after doing this Easter egg with all the boss zombies, I feel like I wouldn't have been able to do it without the specialist weapon. I started working on the Alice's Annihilator. So far it's all pretty simple. Activate Pack-a-Punch, codes for the Alice's Folly, only 2 parts for the Chaos Theory, and now onto the Alice's Annihilator to shoot blinking lanterns and kill a bat that spawns. And don't judge my aim. This part was probably the easiest, even though I heard it was going to be hard. I just shot a zombie, he dug up the part, piece of cake. In the meantime, I also Pack-a-Punched my Mog. Then the next step for the Alistair's Annihilator was to collect 3 bile from 9 Nosferatu, which would then open a coffin in the cemetery and spawn a Crimson Nosferatu, or vampire. At this point I was kind of getting my hopes up for the rest of the Easter egg because it was all going pretty well, and to be honest, so far I was having a blast. Considering the only Easter egg I have done was Origins, which I'm gonna be honest, I am not a big fan of the Origins Easter egg. I love making the staffs, but it does get a bit old. I actually prefer the Black Ops 2 version because there is that skip. You don't have to wait for every robot to come place the staffs inside. Anyways, why am I talking about Origins? Back to Dead of the Night. Finally, fully upgraded the Alistair's Foley into the Alistair's Annihilator. And here we go with the quests. I shot the telescope above the mausoleum with my silver bullets, which activated this sort of laser beam going into the main hall. Went to the main hall, where I began with the lasers, and yes, I did have to speed this up because it took me so long. I've actually done this step before, and I did it pretty easy, but oh my god, this took me forever. Playing Ring Around a Rosie with the zombies. Oh, it was painful, I'll be honest. It makes me feel like a noob, but it was painful. Despite my difficulty doing this step, it is really awesome. There are some really cool parts to this Easter egg. I thought it was so cool. I mean, a giant head falling off a giant statue in the middle of the map. It was pretty cool. And then here comes the most infamous part of this Easter egg. This is actually the first thing I ever saw on this Easter egg way back when they were figuring it out. And I agree. I mean, the scars and the symbols, it's all cool, but it was just too complicated. It's actually not that hard, but I understand people's frustration with it, and the end result is totally worth it. Also, it was hard enough doing it once, but I actually failed it twice because I chose the wrong M. There are 2 M symbols, and I picked the wrong one every single time. Which was really awesome. And I also decided to have a last werewolf following me the whole time instead of a last zombie, and my shield broke about 1,000 times. Also, this is actually my second attempt doing the Easter egg because, well, the first time I made it right through to the boss fight, but didn't realize that my Alistair's Annihilator was my mule quick weapon thanks to Perkaholic, and I went down during the boss fight, lost my Alistair's Annihilator, and died. So yeah, as you can see, if you look closely on the symbols there are 2 different M's, okay, and I kept pressing the wrong one, but I did eventually get it here, and this is probably up there in my top 3 favorite parts of this map. This sequence here is so cool. I electrocuted my shield through the trap and activated telescope. Yeah, this has to be one of the coolest parts of an Easter egg. There's also a lockdown at the end of each quest line, which is pretty simple, using the Alistair's Annihilator and my specialist weapon. Also, credit where credit is due, and I know I've already said it, but this weapon is truly a masterpiece. Like, I remember only playing Transit for how many years it was when Black Ops 2 released and I didn't have Xbox Live, so it was just Transit, struggling so hard to get that wonder weapon for it just to break. This weapon is the polar opposite of that. So with all the enemies defeated, I had finished the first lockdown and completed the telescope quest. Thankfully, the telescope quest is actually the hardest of all of them, so for the next quest lines I was just allowed to have fun. Next was the effigy quest, which is centered around ghosts, vampires, and hell. The first step was to collect 5 branches from trees around the cemetery, which make this sort of cultist formation in the middle of the cemetery. Then, after interacting with a gravestone, marked 1912, I was put in this sort of spectral state, and then I had to hang myself on the cultist formation of branches and go down to hell. After going to hell, a ghost spawns somewhere around the map, and all you have to do is escort her back to the cemetery, where the next lockdown would occur, and finish the effigy quest. And just as a little random rant, not that it was necessary, but every time I come back to play Black Ops 4, God, I forget how shite the perk system is. I've been playing mostly Cold War currently because I stopped playing zombies. The Die Maschine came out. I played heaps of Die Maschine and then I stopped, I guess. Other games came up. So I've only come back in the last few months or so to play all the Cold War maps that I missed and go back to all the old maps that I have missed. And now with the effigy lockdown completed, we were on the final stretch and all we had to do was complete the night quest and go to the boss fight. After having completed the whole Easter egg now, the night quest is probably my favourite because it's just the most simple. All you have to do is light up all these fireplaces in a certain order with the blue flames from the trap and the Alice's Annihilator, and then collect 3 gems, then go to these night statues. And then after interacting with the night statues, the gems follow you to the forest, where you just have to fill them with souls and then kill a werewolf at the end. I know I'm jumping a bit ahead here with the recording, but because I wanted to touch on why I'm doing this, I have only ever completed a singular Easter egg, which was Origins, and probably most people can say that, so I wanted to come back and fully play all these maps that I played for so many hours to the fullest. Like, I've never actually tried it. The furthest I ever got was building the lightning bow into Eisensache. Like, that's it. I never even touched Shadows or Zetsubo. I probably played more Black Ops 4 and Der Eisensache than everything else. I probably played more Transit than everything else. Anyways, yeah, so back to the game at hand. Here I am escorting these gems from the night statues to the forest, where I am then going to fill them with souls. So all the statues are filled with souls. I just have to kill a werewolf in the triangle that they form at the end, which triggers the next and final lockdown, completing the night quest and the main Easter egg. And just while this lockdown is going, I thought I'd go over a few of my highlights of the map and the Easter egg, and what my favourite parts were.
Silver bullets? What kind of cowboy uses silver friggin' bullets? Hope I followed the directions right. Okay, seems all lined up. Well, can't blame him for dropping the world. Full moon. I think we might have rung the dinner bell. Go get him, partner!
Here we are. The long Easter egg was finally complete. All 3 quests and their lockdowns finished. All that was left was the boss fight.
Hell of a night, huh? You know what? First time in ages I haven't won it.
Now this was such an epic boss fight. Your main goal is to kill this giant werewolf who can go invisible. First stage consists of pointing these lasers at the bottom of statues to a glowing green square. After standing in it, lure the werewolf towards you, stunning it, and I started shooting it with my silver bullets gun. Second stage was by far the easiest. All you had to do was survive waves consisting of every zombie type in the map. Which I say easy, but considering the amount of boss enemies in this map and Chaos Story itself, there were actually quite a few hearing moments. And now onto the third and final stage, which, similar to the first stage, point lasers at the bottom of these statues to a glowing red square. Except this time, the glowing red square is invisible and you have to find it yourself. After a long and hard 20 minutes of several rotations, in the 3 stages, I was able to finally kill the invisible wolf, complete the Easter egg, and finish Dead of the Night.
Latest weirdest gunfight in human history and nobody ain't gonna know. Gideon Jones, Weird West. Has a nice ring to it.
I've seen some strange things in my time, but this takes the cake.
Good thing you're better at shooting than fortune-telling. Now where's the bar? I worked up a powerful thirst.
Wait! Did you see that?
What now? What the hell does this mean?
It means you are not worthy. Witch! Ragged! Pompous ass! Ah, bastard! Ensure the prisoner completes his journey.
Where is my father? What have you done to Alistair Rhodes?
You are already too late. You cannot stop what is to come.
Where is my father? Godfrey, talk to me! Ah! Damn it!
Dearest Scarlet, if I have already fallen prey to the Order, these are the only people I trust to help you stop them.
Okay, Dad. Let's see what these friends of yours can do.
And an hour and 40 later, I had finally completed the Dead of the Night Easter egg. And I am extremely surprised and happy that it wasn't shit. It was actually really fun. Despite my lack of interest in the story itself, it was really cool. Anyways, thank you all for watching and I hope to see you next time.